Morning guys and gals, Froggy here. I'm going to show you just the reassembly of a P95DC Ruger, including the slide full disassembly, not counting the sights of course. And I am going to use some of this KG number 5 trigger lube. Make sure you shake it up before you use it. In another video, I said that the trigger on this Ruger wasn't really a fancy, high-end, precision trigger, and I said that maybe it didn't need this. And then I got to thinking about it, actually, and my thought was probably your least expensive or your least perfect trigger is the one that needs this the most, maybe. Anyway, I am going to use this on the stock trigger on my P95DC. It's got a nice pull the cap to get it off. You have to cut the end to open it. I cut it on an angle. Just make sure you shake it up before you put it on. And I moved the trigger with one hand, and then I put it everywhere I could see a moving part, basically. Okay? So that's done. Now we're going to get into reassembly. I have seen some other videos that they come apart differently than the way this one does. And it has to do with the left side decocker. On some of them, it comes out without removing what I call the leaf spring, and that little pin that holds the leaf spring in. On mine, you are not going to get that left side decocker out until you remove this leaf spring. The leaf spring holds it in there. So just so you know, I think in the P95 series, they made some changes on this disassembly. Anyway, I'm going to need two hands. First thing I'm going to do is put the firing pin back in. Make sure that this little tab goes to the right side. See right where my finger is, right in the middle of your screen, where my finger is touching my index finger, not my thumb. That little tab that sticks out there goes to the right. And then you're going to insert the decocker. Then once that's in, you're going to do the leaf spring. I need two hands right now. Okay, so firing pin, left decocker, which is on the right now because I flipped it upside down, and leaf spring drops in there. The very end of the leaf spring has to tuck, the long end has to tuck underneath this part of the slide, right where my screwdriver is pointing. Now I'm going to press down. See this little groovy part of the spring? I'm going to press down, and I'm going to get this pin inserted back in, and that will hold that decocker in place, and will also, the decocker will hold the firing pin in place. Okay, I need two hands. Okay, I'm going to show you a little Froggy trick here. I have not actually seen any gunsmith. I'm not a gunsmith, but I've not seen anybody use this little trick, and I'm going to give it to you. Take your small flat blade screwdriver, press down on this end, the very end that's showing on the leaf spring. Be careful, because if it pops, you're going to get it in the eye, or it's going to go flying across your workbench and you'll spend 20 minutes looking for it. So you're going to press that down, then get a magnet and put the magnet on the end of some small vice grips. Use the magnet on the pin. You see that? You don't have to use your fingers. This is better than your fingers. Sorry, focus. Come on, focus. Use the magnet to hold the pin, and use the magnet to insert it. This is a very strong magnet. I don't know where I got it. It's a little broken off thing, but it's a very strong magnet. People use a pick. They try to get a pick in there, or they try to use their fingers to put that in there. This is way, way easier. So trust me, do it this way, but just don't let that pin go flying. So now we've got our left decocker in, we've got our firing pin in, we've got our leaf spring in, and the rest is pretty easy. We're going to go to the right decocker. So on the right decocker, it's going to be approximately this position. There's a machined kind of rectangular pin that fits into a hole. Just look in there, you'll see the hole. Aim the pin at the hole, put it in like that. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a bench block, you don't really, I know you can use a piece of rolled up duct tape, but get yourself a bench block. They're cheap and they save you a lot of twisting and turning and rolling on your slide and other parts. So, right decocker is in. Now we are going to, let's see, we're going to put our extractor in. Okay, it's pretty obvious the way the extractor goes back in, but make sure that it's pointed the way you would want it pointed if it was going to grab the brass on an empty casing. See how it lays in there like that? And I'm just going to take a punch and press it in. You're going to press it in pretty hard until it clicks, and then you'll know when it's in the right way. I need 2 hands. So I just took a little square end punch. Actually, I should have used a brass punch. This is steel, but I think I left a tiny scratch on there, but that's not going to matter right there. And you shove it in. See how it's lined up? If it's not all the way in, then you did it wrong. So take it out and lay it in there again and shove it pretty hard. I had to shove pretty hard to get it to click in. Okay? So now we're back to the point of what you would call regular field stripping. I used some gun oil, and I got that in another video exactly where I put the gun oil. I used some dry lube. I used right there. That's the firing pin block. So let me get you a light on that. See it right there? The round thing. That's firing pin block. I figured dry lube would be a good thing on that. And then I already lubed the barrel, the guide rod, a little bit of a drop on that mechanism that holds the slide back. So let's put all those back in. This is a captured recoil spring, so it makes it real easy. So the barrel just slides in, and then the recoil spring is next. Just shove it in there. See if I can do it while I'm holding. I know my hand's in the way. Okay, I might have to compress that a little bit. Hold on. Okay, I had to compress it just a little bit. Now it goes a little further forward, and then it comes back and it catches right on that lip there. So now we're ready to put the lower back on there. And as we put the lower back on there, it's going to push this down, and it will compress it. So you're going to slide your lower on there. On the other side, left side in normal orientation, you're going to have some alignment marks, and you're going to line those up, and then you're going to put this slide retaining pin through. Make sure that, I think it's an ejector. Put it down in the comments if I called it the wrong thing. Right in the center of the screen, right there. Make sure that's pushed down. This is how I like to do it. This is my left hand. I'm a right-handed guy. Put your fingers down there, and your pointer finger can help pull the hammer down, and that'll take some of the pressure off the whole thing. And then my thumb is up against the rear sight, and that's how I go backwards with it and get the alignment marks. See, there's one of the alignment marks. I've already done it. So you got one alignment mark on your lower. You got the other one right there in the middle of your screen on your upper. See it? And then that hole will line up, and you just shove it through there. And these are some Snapcaps caps that I've got. There are no live rounds anywhere near my bench, so I like to cycle a few rounds using Snapcaps. I'll put a link down in the comments area for all of these products. The KG, these are Tipton Snapcaps, and maybe punches are punches. So I don't know. I might put some links down there to some of the punches that I like. Let's put this in there and see if we can cycle a few rounds. Okay, so I put the magazine in. Trigger's working. Sorry. I'm gonna need 2 hands to eject. Okay, so I ejected by hand 5 rounds. When I ejected the last round, it locked back. I think it's good to go. So give me a thumbs up or like, this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Ring the bell if you want notifications. Look down in the comments if you want to see the products that I use, okay? Be safe, have fun. Froggy out. Bye-bye.